Hello everybody, back again Saul here for another Minecraft snapshot video. The first snapshot of the new year. We're in 14W02B this time because B came out right after A, and fixed a few bugs. Like if you went into the end, your game would crash, but they fixed that. So as you can see here, let's jump right into it. We have a new block that Jeb actually teased on his Twitter a while back. It's called the slime block. And the way you craft this is just 3x3 slime balls. Let's get this out of the way. So it's like crafting a redstone block or a coal block or anything, and I regret breaking this now, but so you can uncraft it back into your slime balls. So it's a compact way of storing a lot of slime balls, but also it makes you bounce. I'm not holding spacebar right now. Here I was experimenting with it. So this slows you down, slower than soul sand even, and the slowness takes effect through carpet. The bounce also takes effect through carpet. The slowness, to a degree, takes effect through slabs. You don't move as slow as you do through... Oh, there's a little bounce from when you fall from the slab. But if you look, you move slightly slower over the slab, not quite as slow, and you don't bounce. So there's that. You can push and pull it with pistons, and since it is transparent, it allows beacon to go through it. If you ever wanted a slime bounce beacon for whatever reason, here I was experimenting with throwing items, and it doesn't pick it up through the slime block. So it slows you down slower than soul sand, but it's not shorter like soul sand, which will allow it to pick up items through it. You don't bounce off the sides at all, just off the top. But if you hit the very edge of it, you don't get a bounce. And if we game mode 0, you do take fall damage on it. However, if you land towards the middle of it, and we game mode, it does negate your fall damage. And your bounce diminishes over time. And there we go. Stop bouncing. Here we have the 3 new types of stone variants they've added into the game. So we have granite, diorite, and andesite. And here's a little sort of table I've made to show the way to craft these. These are smooth variants of them, polished, but the rough, I guess, variants of them all spawn naturally. I'd say about the same rarity as gravel, maybe? But you can craft it, so if you take cobble and quartz, this is shaped crafting, so it has to be in this shape. You will get that, and you put that into a 2x2, and it'll give you the polished. If you take the diorite? Yes. If you take diorite and quartz, this one is shapeless crafting, so it doesn't matter which order you put them in. You can put the quartz down here or whatever, doesn't matter. You get the granite. You take the granite into a 2x2, and it gives you polished granite. Now if you take the diorite with cobble, this is also shapeless crafting, you get the andesite, which you then put again into a 2x2 and get polished andesite. And now guys, we can finally craft these things. Finally. If you take 2 stone brick slabs and put them one on top of the other, you get chiseled stone bricks. Finally. We had chiseled sandstone, we had chiseled quartz blocks, which use the same concept of 2 slabs on top of each other, and now it works with stone bricks. Yes. If you take a stone brick block and put vines on it, you can get mossy stone bricks for whatever reason, but that's cool. Now we won't have to go tear apart our strongholds to raid them for these blocks here. Crafting has also received an overhaul, and as you can see, they've added an extra slot there. So we now require lapis to enchant. Enchanting's gotten a little more complicated, I'd say. So since I'm in creative mode, I don't need the lapis, but so these the 1, 2, 3 on this side is if you put in 1 piece of lapis, it would only unlock this. 2 pieces of lapis would unlock the second tier, and the 3rd piece of lapis would unlock the lower tier. However, I would also need this amount of levels for it to be unlocked. So for this top tier, I would need 1 piece of lapis and to have at least 8 levels for this to light up and be able to go onto my tool. I would need 2 lapis and at least 15 levels for me to be able to choose the second tier, and the same with the third. I would need 3 lapis and 30 levels. However, this is the amount of levels it'll take from you. It will no longer take all 30 levels to enchant. It will only take 3 levels away from you. And as you can see, the little tooltip pops up that gives you a sneak peek into what enchantment you'll get. So that's Unbreaking 3. Let's go for it. Unbreaking 3, Efficiency 3. Not bad. However, now that take this. Now that we've chosen Unbreaking 3, now every time we enchant a pickaxe, it will have Unbreaking 3 on it. This time I got Efficiency 4 on it, so not too bad. So in order to reset that, you'd need to, like, let's say, enchant a chest plate. Because that can't have, well, I guess I can't have Unbreaking on it, but let's see. Yeah, that would still have Unbreaking on it. So now I have an Unbreaking 3 diamond chest plate. What's something that can't have Unbreaking? I guess everything can have Unbreaking on it now, can it? So I kind of just screwed myself, but... See, there we go. Punch 2. So that changed it. Power 4, Punch 2 bow. All for 3 levels only. Now remember that. And let's see. Go. To combine pickaxes or rename them. Renaming them just now costs 1 extra level. See, it was 10 before, now it's 11. Putting them together cost me 10 levels in the first place. Now if this was breaking and I needed a new one, oh, that just duplicates it. But I think the max it can cost now is about 7 levels to repair, and 4 levels for armor. I believe that's correct. But yep, the whole enchanting and repairing and renaming is cheaper as a whole, but it might be trickier if you want to keep getting those good enchantments over and over. But alright, excited to see what that brings to the table later on. And here we have a whole mess of villagers. That's because now, as you can see, let's go up to this guy. Farmer, which is what we used to call these brown coat guys anyways, right? The farmers, because they traded you wheat and crops. Well, now there's all sorts of different, I guess, classes of villagers. So this guy would be the shepherd. And he'd trade you wool and shears, and the shepherd, I believe, when you unlock all his trades, he'll trade you all the different colors of wool. So then there's the Fletcher, who trades you arrows and flint and all that good stuff to make your arrows, and the fisherman, all the good fish stuff. Now we have the blacksmith. So there's 3 different types of blacksmiths now. There's the armorer, as we can see here. He'll trade you, obviously, armor. The toolsmith will trade you your tools, your shovels, your, I guess, axes, hoes, all that good stuff. And the weaponsmith, who for some reason will also trade you an axe, which I guess makes sense because you can enchant axes with sharpness, so I guess they are classed as a weapon. And I think it's supposed to be raining, but this is a desert world, so lol. Alright, so there's 3 different types of blacksmiths, as I just said. Next up is the butcher. So this guy will trade you all your different meats. You have your pork chops, your beef, your chicken. And I think everyone will trade you coal at some point. But the butcher will trade you meats. The leather worker will trade you leather stuff, so leather armor, saddles, raw leather. Well, he'll buy leather, I guess. There's just the one librarian so far that I've found. Just the one librarian. And here's the good guy. Here's the guy that's gonna make everyone rich. Have you ever had... We can film a commercial here with him right now. Are you rolling in rotten flesh that you have no idea what to do with? Bring it by your local cleric today and trade it in for emeralds. I don't know, that was bad. But, so he'll trade you rotten flesh for emeralds. That's actually really expensive. I've seen some clerics for like 28 rotten flesh. They'll give you an emerald. So you have like your mob farm or whatever, and it collects just collects a bunch of rotten flesh, and you have no idea what to do with it. Well, now you can trade it to your clerics. So they've added in more features to adventure mode. So if we go game mode 2, which is adventure mode, we can't break anything. Oh, I could do that. Why is... I guess you could do that in adventure mode. I didn't know that. But, so you're not supposed to be able to break glass? Yeah. So before in adventure mode, one of the big things was you could break glass with your fist. Now they fixed that. You can't place anything, obviously. Except with these things, apparently. Whoa, where'd you go? There you are. Alright, so there's that. You can't break anything. However, you can have tools be... Can I interact with chests? I can. So when the tooltip shows up below the attack damage, I believe, there'll be dark gray text that like map makers and whoever can edit into tools, which will say can break, and then a list of the things that that tool can break. So for adventure maps or whatever, you'll get like a pickaxe or something, and it'll say can break stone or whatever, and then you'll have your smooth stone and it can break it. And so that'll be cool for map makers going on into the future. Let's go back into creative mode here. I know a lot of people were not satisfied with the adventure mode the way it worked before, so we'll see how they feel about it this time. There's also 2 new commands. I think there might be more, but 2 that I know of. So there's the @E command. So that's for command blocks and such. There used to be an @A. Well, it's still around. There's an @A command, which is all players. But the @E command will target entities. So can we do /say @E? Yeah. So that'll say all the entities in the world here. So a lot of item frames. Chicken, zombie, chicken, donkeys, horses. So that'll list all the different entities in your world. Type item frame 18. And then if you see that below there, there's that string of numbers, that's its UUID. That's the universally unique ID, which you would need if you want to interact with a specific mob in your world. And you can't just target it by saying like zombie. You would have to put in that string of numbers. There's also a new command called /blockdata, which I haven't figured out how to use yet, but it'll essentially take like your chests or whatever, and you'll be able to lock your chests. You'll be able to overwrite the inventory inside the chests. I have seen people use it, and it looks interesting. When the chest is locked, it'll make like a door sound, like the door opening and closing sound, and then text will pop up right above your hotbar there that'll say this chest is locked. And speaking of doors, so now you can craft the door there, and you'll get 3 back instead of just the 1 that you used to make before. And if we do this, now they stack all the way up to 64. Yeah. It also works with iron doors as well. Let's go. Those will also stack now up to 64. Yeah. Another feature Mojang has implemented into the Snapshot is the lock difficulty feature. So, you know, people have difficulties. They have problems when they log into a world where they have like a working mob system, or they have a charged creeper saved somewhere trapped, and they log into the world on peaceful mode and then it despawns. So now you can lock it. However, lock world difficulty. Are you sure you want to lock this difficulty of this world? This will set this world to always be hard, and you will never be able to change that again. So that'll save it to your world data file folder thing, and so that's also a good implementation for map makers to use, because sometimes, you know, you'll download a map and it'll say play in this difficulty or something. Well, now map makers can set that into their maps, so players will have the right difficulty from the get-go. Alright, so before I go, I want to show off one little bug in the Snapshot. So in here I have a water bucket, and you know, normally it would dispense and it would go down into this hole here. However, that's happening now. Dinnerbone has said that this is not an intended feature, so that should be fixed next Snapshot maybe. So normally what would happen is if it was dispense here, the source block, and then the way water works is it finds the nearest drop-off point for that, and it'll travel in that direction. So it wouldn't have spread to everywhere. It would have just gone down this hole and stayed there. But that's just a little bug in the Snapshot that I thought was funny. But yep, that about wraps it up. We took a look at all the new things in the Snapshot, or as many as I could find and explain well. So, yep, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye.